G'day YouTube. So, this is the donor XF pano van. Yep, they're multiplying. So I found this one for 250 bucks. As you can see, starts, runs, drives backwards, not forwards. Kind of, it'll move forwards, but the transmission has been milkshaked. If you don't know what that means, basically the radiator heat exchanger for the gearbox oil has transferred water to oil. I don't know if you can see that, that's a pink colour. That's what happens when automatic trans fluid gets water in it. So transmission in this thing's no good. Only gear that works is reversed. I had to swap a starter motor into it because the ring gear is actually stripped. In the starter that was on it, this teeth are fairly chewed from the ring gear being stripped. I'm not sure how that's happened. Maybe the starter was loose and moving around or something. But scrap metal now, as you can see. Alright, I'll just turn it off. It was very rusty in the coolant as well as it's mixed with the oil. But it's actually bright orange just from rust. And that's after I left the hose running in it for a good 10 minutes. Alright, let's talk about things that are good. Things that we want, things that we'll use. Steering wheel. Pretty awesome. It's got a Boss kit. Going an XF. That's a bit of a win. So $250 car. Let's talk about all the things that we're going to use in the good one we're doing up there. So I'm going to put the whole steering column, including the ignition keys, gear selector, etc. That whole column's going to go in this other car because it actually works. Everything's nice. It's a bit younger than the other car. This one's a 90 model. That one over there is an 84. So there's a few things that will go in there that'll be awesome. So other things we got that are spares: door glass, side glass, back windows. I'm actually going to get a spot weld drill and unstitch all the welds I can. See if I can't pop them dents out. I'm going to actually make a whole roof chop of this, just because, well, they're kind of getting rare, the old XF pano van. XD, EF, XG and XH pano van. They'll run the same rear end. Got a diff in it. What else are we going to use? Oh, there's a lot of plastics and things in the interior. It's got a dash mat. Dash mats are always good. Oh, cargo cage. The owner of this one, I believe, actually wanted a cargo cage, so that's a big win. It's got a nice hole in the top of it so you can still put things through the cage, but it's like, to protect the driver and passenger. We've got a whole nother entire running, going crossflow. No nasty ticks, knocks or anything. There's horrible exhaust leaky noises, but no bad noises with this thing. Radiator's obviously scrap, like I said. Clutch hub fan works mint, and it's a plastic one rather than a steel one, so that'll go on the other car. I actually have to have a good look in. I'll use a little bore scope and have a look inside each of these engines and even do a compression test on them. I'll do videos of that and see which one's better off getting done up. This one's done less kilometres. I think that one's done 340-ish, if it's the original one. I believe it is. I haven't verified numbers. This one's only done 280. Really good. Looks like a Rico Bosch 60 amp alternator. Aircon pump on this side of the car instead of that side. Powered steering pump. Yet to verify. It's just got no fluid in it. Just a leak somewhere. So yeah, that's another piece of the puzzle. So powered steering box. Customer for this one wanted a powered steered car. There's a powered steering box. Radiator will get scrapped. Cat converter will get scrapped. This one doesn't need one, it's 84 model. Really good running, perfectly working carby. Doesn't happen very often that you've got one that's working really well. My mate Dave needs a bonnet, so he'll probably end up with the bonnet. He also needs a guard. I believe he needs passenger. That one's pretty good, just a tiny little marking there, so I'll have to see if he wants that. Headlights are rubbish, front bars are rubbish. It's got a 12 slaughter on it. This door is straight. I want that door. A little bit of a ripple there, but we need that door for this car. I don't know if you remember, but I actually had to cut a square out of this door to get it off the locking mechanism. It was stuck shut. It had been for a long time. Weather shield, I might see if one of my mates wants that. Like I said, I'm going to scalp the whole van. The big thing about this van is it has hardly any rust. So where this car's very rusty inner door frames, this one really isn't. So we'll be able to use that to mimic the shape as I'm welding and beating that in there. We'll be able to copy the shape of that. There's a few rubbers that are in really good nick, like they've been replaced, which will go in. It gives me some more of these so I can choose the best and paint them up. Window frame surrounds, choose the best, blast them. That door shut's really nice. That's in good nick. More side windows for spares. I'll probably, providing the customer wants them, I'll provide them as spares. Spared barn doors for my other panel van. So I've actually got an XH panel van as well, so we've got spare barn doors. Rear guards, rear quarters. This blue one needs 2 rear quarters. I've already started welding the other side in, but I'll definitely do the passenger side, so this one will come out. This is a rear quarter for me, which is nice and easy. Now in the back, I've got some big dramas with the blue one on the opposite sides of the fuel tank. So I will be plasma cutting the opposite side of the fuel tanks. Whole floor out of this beast. And plopping it in down there so you can see the concrete. We'll plasma cut all that rubbish out that's no good and zap that floor back in. Now the reason I don't just swap vans is because it's big nasty hinges for the barn doors for one, and it doesn't have these hinges set up. So it'll be I've already put a lot of work into the front end of this and all the bits that I've welded back together, so it'd be silly to think about swapping vans. Crappy air leak. There's a place a few of them fittings. Alright, so as you can see I already started that quarter down there, that's alright. Yeah, barn doors for my other one. Spare fuel tank, my mate Dave needs a single fuel neck. He's got an XG long reach ute we need to make some videos about that actually has twin tanks. So he needs a single neck to only facilitate one tank because he's been having issues with that that I've had to play with. What else is noteworthy? What kind of distributor setup does it have? It has a late model electronic spark time distributor, which runs a MAF sensor as well. This crossover EGR pipe looks like it's brand new. The chrome, aluminium nut on this side and the stainless pipe down to the exhaust all looks very new, so we'll probably use some of that because we will need that for our roadworthy. It is a JL42, which is a 250 crossflow from the second assembly line at Broadmeadows. As you can see, they've done some interesting stuff to make the throttle cable work. Another spare steel master cylinder is always good to have. Master cylinder, vacuum booster, wrong word, sorry. Yeah, so for 250 bucks, we just got all of these spare parts. All of these parts to make that one a beautiful car again. A diff, this diff's obviously younger. Once we get to the stage where I've got all the running gear out and I'm ready to get rid of the shell, all the suspension and everything will come out of it, and we'll slip it up onto the back of a trailer. and that's when we'll rip the diff out and compare the two, compare ratios, etc. Make sure we find something we are quite happy with, and if we need to, slip some new bearings in one. But this is being used to get a lot of firewood, whereas that one doesn't look like it's had hardly anything ever in the back of it. In the back's really in good nick, the floor's really good nick. Sorry, noisy truck going past. Yeah, so basically bought it for parts, welding repairs, and I'll be able to fix a few mates up with a few bits and pieces cheap for their buses. That's where we're at with it. I needed the crossover snorkel hat and top part there for the air cleaner. I don't believe I've got that for that engine anymore, because I had a rocket cover leak and I dug down, ripped everything off one day, and then I just sold this, and then it come back to me for it to be fixed again. Yeah, air conditioner lines, we want all of those. Then I've just got to find a good condenser for the front. This one doesn't have one, the other one over there is buggered and bent and horrible. So we'll be able to put all them back and she'll have air conditioning, which actually works alright in an XF, it's not bad. But that's what we're looking at. So they multiplied, we've got two now. This one's going to be known as the parts pano. I'll be able to make a quantity of my money spent on this for parts out of, make a quantity of money back out of scrapping things like radiators, cat converters. You'll get $30 for a cat converter out of most places, so don't ever not buy a $50 car if it's got a cat and a radiator or even a battery in it. I'm going to make a few videos, a bit of a video series. We're picking up a little Ford Laser tomorrow. I'm going to make a video series on how to make money out of cheap / free cars, free pickups. It's got a few alloy wheels, it's got a few tyres that are good. If you've got a mate with a tyre machine, pop the tyres off that are worth keeping, sell them to someone who does burnouts, scrap the alloy wheels, scrap the steel ones or sell the steel ones. So like for instance, this has got two steel wheels and two alloy wheels. Pop the steel out of them and stick them in the scrap bin. You never know what you can build up and sell. So yeah, it's got most of its interior bits are in it. Dash is relatively sweet actually. Oh, this one's just as good. But yeah, I'll have some parts, put some other cars on the road and keep them running, and parts to fix this beast up and make it neat. Oh, that's one thing I really want to put on it. I got the new fuel cap assembly for this, which is just a basic, here's an old one, just a basic round button. This one's got a drip tray. They're made to fit anything from XA Falcon onwards. So that'll definitely get polished up and put on there because they're cool. Stops you dripping your fuel down the side of your van. And that fits beautifully in there. So that'll look really swish, like a new one. It's got a good factory Ford aerial. Oh, it even still moves. Yeah, so lots of parts, very similar model. It is 6 years newer, but very similar model. Still the same model, it's an XF. The XFs went a long way, over a long period of time. They started in 84, I believe. I don't think there's any 83 ones. This is an 84. And my old man's got a Ute that's a 93 model. And we're going to do a bit of fixing up on that as well, so you'll see some videos about that. Smash the subscribe button on this channel, guys. We're trying to build it up so I can do more, spend more time making videos, and make it more feasible to do more editing and more how-to videos to help people out. If you're not subscribed to this one, subscribe. If you subscribe to the other one, get on both. It's not gonna take any more than a couple of seconds to smack subscribe, and you might find a video that could save you hours. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Supercheap for my gear. As always, if you haven't seen the reviews for Supercheap Auto, head over there and have a look. This thing needs pulling apart. Strip her out, get all the bits we want out of it, and have a garage sale with the bits we don't need. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next video.